this is all allegedly, but Christian Keys having different things come out recently is kind of difficult to understand. Not because of what he said, but I always had a feeling like he had a situation like this behind the scenes. Not because he's dealt with Tyler Perry, just because I felt like back in 2008, 2007, 2006, 2005, around those times when he was doing stage plays and different things like that, I felt like he had done enough work up until this point to actually be on the main screen as a top actor. But right now he's had a lot of time where he hasn't had top tier work. He's done a lot of great independent films. I've liked most of the independent films he's done over the years. He's a very good actor. But it seems like lately he's had different things that's kind of stalled his career. And I was always a fan of his ever since he was in the Tyler Perry plays with I think it was the Medea Goes to Jail play that I seen him in, and that was one of the first times I've seen him. Now I know to be honest, strictly, and this is all allegedly, but to be honest, when I first seen the Boondocks episode that had Tyler Perry in it, and they were saying that people were staying at different facilities and you had to practice to play at his mansion and different things like that. You couldn't leave. Back then when this information came out, I don't even know if Tyler Perry was on screen yet. So a lot of that stuff was just like over the top, really. People didn't understand it. But over the years, a lot of people had their questions of different things, you know what I'm saying? And they've always asked and wondered why certain things were the way they were, or why certain just certain things overall, you know what I'm saying, how Tyler Perry dealt with certain things. But with Christian Key's situation, a lot of people feel like that he was talking about Tyler, but in this situation we don't really know, because for him to say that he has a situation with somebody, then for him to kind of feel like he's not airing out to insinuate, people felt like he wasn't talking about Tyler Perry, or that he was, or he was talking about other people. They was naming all kind of black executives and different things like that, which I understand, and it makes total sense. In this situation, I'm trying to figure out why he had got along with him for so long, and why now it feels like he couldn't really go to him in this situation if he had any kind of trouble with those people that he was dealing with. Now, if he had trouble with those certain guys or different people, then I would understand. Okay, then he don't want to deal with those people, and but if he was to be in that situation and it wasn't Tyler Perry, I would felt like he would be able to go to him in that situation. Most times you don't want to go to a high ranking, someone with a lot of power, or a boss who's just at a high level. You don't really want to go to him and kind of worry him and kind of mess yourself out of your spot. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like at a regular job. People don't want to bother him. But if that's the person that you're talking about, that's a different story. With the support he's getting, I feel like he definitely should start speaking up, because as a male in the show business, a lot of times guys over the years, black males, Terry Crews or other guys, they felt like they didn't have support in certain situations and different things like that. And a lot of people are putting their neck out there for even trying to figure out, like, who is he talking about and different things like that. So a lot of people can risk their job or their own self by speaking up for him. So he has to be able to speak up for himself before any male or female assistants or anybody that kind of has an idea of what he's talking about or who he's talking about, or that can help him. If he's quiet about it or not sharing much information about it, then it's not going to really help anyone. You know what I'm saying? So, especially if you have someone who's being a predator around there, and it probably just not against just men, probably against women too. So people have to find a fine line between who we're actually going to support and try to protect and hide, because a lot of times, yeah, your safety can be at risk at different things in certain situations, but if you feel like it was hard enough to where you had to share it, I feel like that information should be passed along, especially. Now, if you feel like you got some other things, because certain situations can't be fixed, and I feel like this is one where someone can't say, "Oh, I'm sorry," or "I didn't mean to." It's kind of past that point, because if you feel like it was this bad to where you kind of put your career in jeopardy, and it shouldn't be that way, but you know how it is. I mean, females go through the same thing. So when you put your career in jeopardy, and then you have supporters of you and the people that they think that you're accusing of doing these things, you need to step forward, because a lot of women who support Tyler Perry or other people, they also support this guy as well, especially if he's in a certain situation. So on the only thing I have a problem with is if the next guy speaks up like this, they're not gonna take him serious. Because certain people, I hear certain people saying, "Well, when Tyrese did it, a lot of people was laughing at him." Well, a lot of people weren't laughing at him, and a lot of people still support him. So just because a lot of people were laughing at him, and then you see a lot of females supporting Christian Keys and trying to figure out what his situation is. So it's not like he just left in the dark about certain situations because he a male and all. That don't have nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. Because a lot of guys aren't really even speaking on it. I didn't even know the situation was going on until I ran across it with what I was hearing with the fans that was in his comments and different things like that when they was passing along the video. But I had already had kind of an inkling that he had a situation in Hollywood because of, like I said, like he was one of the guys that was doing the independent films. The movies that used to be on DVDs and a lot of things that didn't have a lot of backing and a lot of money put behind it and pushing it. He was in a lot of those movies. So I used to always say to myself, like, is he going to get an opportunity to do anything? Because I see him working a lot, but I rarely see him in things that that other people that probably, because he was a good actor, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the best guys I've seen on Tyler Perry Plays. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I like how he act. You know what I'm saying? He carries himself well. And then it went from that to them having an episode about the Boondocks and how they was having male on male activities and different things like that. And I was like, what? That goes on? I was like, nah, that can't happen. I was like, because Christian Keys, you know, he does the play with Tyler Perry and stuff like that. I was like, nah, that wouldn't go on. But for all that stuff to be put out there and this information that a lot of people are hanging on to, and then this situation to come along, I don't know, man. It's kind of like it's very disappointing, because let's just say if we know and think that we know, you know, if we think that a certain person did it, whether it's an executive or allegedly Tyler or anybody else, then you'd be like, oh, okay, well, this is bad. But if it's not, and he end up naming somebody else, that's gonna make it even worse. So it's kind of like he needs to kind of put a name out there at least, or make the situation a little bit better, because right now you're gonna have a whole bunch of people getting named that who aren't in the situation. Then it's gonna make us look stupid, because we're gonna say 100 times, oh, it was this person, and then when it end up not being that person, then the next time when someone says something, we're not gonna want to support. And then everybody gonna have an excuse of like, oh, well, you don't want to believe him because they don't really care. Nah, just because of situations like this. Just because of situations like this. Because from what I've seen, this definitely not gonna help the situation. Now nobody knows who he's talking about. They have no idea. Now the guy that he possibly, like, my thing is this right here. What if the guy he's talking about possibly knows that he's talking about him, and then he's doing things in order to protect himself, whether it's going overseas, getting out the country. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't really know the guy. A lot of people don't really know the guy. So we really need to know a name if we're gonna be involved. The only reason I'm saying that we need to know is because, like I said, people are not gonna want to get up and support a stranger or someone all the time. And then when you crying wolf, and then if you actually need help, not saying that he does it though. I'm just saying don't put himself in a position where his supporters feel like they're supporting a liar or someone who's just seeking attention, because after a while they're gonna feel like that, like, okay, because it'll be the same situation with Jaguar Wright. I couldn't really be mad at the girls who said I don't want to support her anymore, or I don't believe her, because there was a lot of things going on in between where it's like, oh, I can't really believe it. So I understand why they did what they did as far as falling out support, and the same thing can happen with him, because after a while people got their own stuff going on, and it's like y'all kind of taken away, because when you're trying to put somebody on blast and stuff like that, it's not really to put them on blast, it's to kind of clean up the situation, because you got younger girls and other people coming through, and you don't want that to kind of mess up what somebody else has going on, especially in a professional setting. So that's definitely it's a lot of layers to this, but my thing is that kind of like raise my antennas, and we're not doing any accusing right now, but it's just the only thing that raised my antennas was when if y'all don't know this, when they did the Atlanta show recently, they did a Tyler Perry episode on the Atlanta show. So they did one on the Boondocks and they did one on on the Atlanta show. And on the Atlanta show, he's not really a guy who kind of pokes fun at celebrities and different things like that. And for Donald Glover to be from Atlanta, it was kind of like, and I forgot what Tyler Perry's reaction to it was, but it wasn't more so on what they were saying on the Boondocks. It was kind of like on a he works hard thing. But the one common thing they had in common was that they usually stay in that one area, they never go nowhere, and that they work hard. They work all day and they don't do nothing else. And that they basically are like putting the process where they're just going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. You know what I'm saying? They all in one setting, just practicing, rehearsing, performing. You know what I'm saying? Just super work. Which isn't bad, that's how they do it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just a common thing I seen where a lot of people said where it was kind of like just outrageous sometimes. They'll change different things, script on demand. But from what I'm hearing with Christian Keys, though, it sounds like it's just a whole nother layer, and he's making it seem like it's just more than one person. That's why people are saying, oh, is it this person and that person? That's kind of a dangerous game to play, man. Not because of who he's talking about, or he should be scared of anything, not like that, or not protect himself. I'm not saying that, just it's a dangerous game because you just don't know what's gonna happen soon. A lot of those people try to blackball you and push you out. They've done a lot of people like that, and people haven't even realized much of it. Especially with Wesley Snipes, different people like that. And Wesley got more movies than anybody, but they'll push you out if need be. They don't need you. They'll replace you. They'll go ahead and have a lot of people like the guy on Get Out and the guy from Selma. They'll have these people come in and they don't care about if you don't agree with what they're doing. They showed you that plenty of time at the time. That's why it's kind of like people don't want to speak up for real, but it's kind of like Taraji, she in the same situation as he is. And she's not really even in the situation where she's like, oh, I need this, this, and this. She's just in a situation where she's like, I just need help with what I thought I was in it for. I was in it for the money, and now I can't even receive that. So it's kind of like, no, I'm not really in it for this. And that's the sad part, but it's true. It's a sad part, but it's true. But that's how it goes sometimes. But they trying to push these people out like they ain't got nothing to do, or like they're not on that level and they don't deserve this. Nah, that's definitely not the way to go. They've been putting in work way before all these people have. And they're trying to just push them out, and because they want to speak up about certain things, that's not right. Push them out because of certain things, that's definitely not right. But it just go. But like I said though, if he doesn't accept the support that he's getting from everybody, it's gonna be hard for him. If he doesn't accept the support he's getting, it's gonna be hard for him. He is not gonna have an easy out after this. Not even because if we don't know who he's talking about, and we think we know who he's talking about, and they don't get around to it, if something happens, that's gonna be a problem on all of us. They're just gonna create a rabbit hole. That's why a lot of people trying to figure out what Kim Porter now. That's why everybody trying to figure out situations now. Like, oh, what happened to this person? I felt like they was gonna say all this and they just went missing. He in that situation as well. People got money and stuff to lose. Don't put yourself in that situation. Not even saying just him, it's just networks. They're just saying the people he accusing, they don't even want to do nothing. But the people who own the networks and the big powerful people, man, they'll be like, hey, shut that dude down. I don't even know why he talking. They get wild like that. Y'all seen lately how I been. Ain't nobody trying to share no money with nobody. And they ain't trying to lose none with somebody accusing a ghost. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.